we're going to start off the evening with bright lights. We do have two bright lights presentations tonight. The first will be Les Paul Middle School. 7th graders are going to talk about their passion project. And second, we'll also have the Sodexo Future Chefs present bright lights also. So we'll start with the Les Paul Middle School 7th grade passion project.
Hi, I'm Ann Zindler. I'm here with my partner, Jamie Wagner, and we engaged the kids this year in an inquiry-based research project that we wanted or hoped would be really literacy-rich, and we hoped that it would be very inclusive, expansive. We brought in the entire 7th grade to do this project, and our other goal was that the kids would make a connection between what I read and what I study and what I do now and how that can inform my future passions and my future interests. So we brought 4 kids with us today. They're going to just give you a synopsis of what they did. They presented these on a presentation night in April to our parent community, and they spoke for long minutes, like probably 15-minute talks to their community members about the research they did, the writing they worked on, their action steps that they took, primary source research that they did, interviews, social experiments, and so on. So they're just going to kind of nutshell that and kind of introduce themselves to you, and feel free to ask them any questions you might have.
I'm Jake Sadak, and for my passion project, I did alternative energy. Sorry, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay.
So, alternative energy, the reason I chose this was because I had originally wanted to do something that would help a lot of people. At first I was going to do something just to help people in like developing countries, but then I sort of thought, why not do something to help everyone? So I built this shoe, and yeah, doesn't sound like much, but as you walk it generates electricity, and then you can plug in any USB device and it will supply power to that. I learned quite a bit from doing this. One of these is that I learned that a lot of small electronics pieces are very cheap. So are a lot of other products. And those products can be used for twice their actual potential to help people all over the world. And that's my passion project. So.
Very good.
Thank you, Jake.
Good. Very good. Does he have one with him?
I think we'll save the questions till the end. We'll let all
Sure.
4 students go with their presentations first.
Hi, my name is Rihanna Chavla, and I did my passion project on journalism. And ever since I was a lot younger than I am now, I've always been interested in writing and being an author. And once it came to deciding what we wanted to do for our passion project, I thought that journalism would be something really cool to do, and that's why I picked journalism. And for my action plan, I was able to actually go down to the TMJ4 studios in Milwaukee and job shadow, the anchors and see how everything worked there, how it was to do television broadcasting. And I really like how much journalism can influence people's decisions and thoughts, and it doesn't all have to be just television based. There's also newspapers, and I thought that was really cool. So,
Thank you, Rhiannon.
I did my passion project on the psychology behind fear, and I've always kind of been interested in psychology, but fear not so much. But there's been a series that's been really popular among kids my age lately called the Divergent series, and it has a lot to do with fear, and the characters have to go through fear landscapes where they have to face their fears, and I was kind of interested in how this works and if this was, even a possible thing. So after I did my research on, what fear actually is and how it works, I did a couple social experiments. The first one, I had a slideshow full of a couple pictures, and I tested other kids to see how fast they found a threat like a picture of a threat in an environment or something totally normal in an environment. And I found that you tend to find a threat faster than you would something else, which was really interesting. And then the other thing that I did was I had pictures of things that would just startle kids around a classroom, and I interviewed them to see, how they reacted. And through these things, I was able to test how fear kind of works and kind of put my own information behind the research that I did, which was really cool.
Hi, I'm Madison Edens, and my project was about veterinary medicine. I've been volunteering at the animal shelter since I was 6 and doing programs there. So I have a passion for animals, and this project just gave me an opportunity to further explore careers that I'm interested in. So I've never really, I thought about being a vet, but I didn't really know what it took to be a vet. So once I heard about this project, I thought that this would be a really interesting thing to do to further my education in that career. So for my action, I went and I job shadowed a vet in a vet clinic. So I got to see different exams, and I got to ask questions about schooling and found out how competitive and difficult it is. I also, since I've been doing things at the animal shelter for so long, I got to observe a couple surgeries there and talk to the vets there too. So one thing about this project that we really had to learn was all the job shadows we did. We had to plan ourselves, and we had to call people on the phone and make it happen. So it was really interesting, and I think you learned a lot about yourself while we were doing this.
Excellent. Thank you. What questions do we have of the students? Mrs. Brusink?
Yes. Well, I was there that night that you did the program, and I was so excited. But I was so pleased that the leadership in your school, your principal, vice principal, was so supportive of this project, and I just was so tickled to see so many variety of interests that you students had. I learned a lot that night. To the young lady that talked about fear, why do you think, or in your research, did you discover why people may have fear of certain animals?
I didn't really come across why people develop certain fears. I learned more about what their reactions were, but I do find that really interesting, and I would consider looking towards finding that.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Baumgart?
The guy I can't see.
Jake?
Jake, yeah, I couldn't. Jake, what initiated you getting interested in alternative energy? What stimulated this?
Sorry. Well, before doing this, my grandpa had an interest in electronics and started to teach me a bit of that. And then Mr. Wagner here did a unit on energy and creating power and whatnot in science, and that kind of pushed me to do this.
Very good, thank you.
Dr. Langell?
Hi, I just want to thank you all and congratulate you, and I wish I could have heard the rest of them. And I wondered, 2 questions. Do you want to become a vet now? Yeah. Okay, you said it was open, so you weren't sure. Okay, so that was a good outcome. And then, Jake, I wondered, you held up this shoe and said that how does that work? How does that produce electricity? If you could explain
And
it.
does
I
it
mean-
come with heels?
I'm working on that. I'm just gonna set that there. Okay. Well, essentially, what I have is a couple of magnets inside a copper tube here, so that when it shakes, it moves the electrons around in the copper tube, which is then transmitted to this full-wave bridge rectifier diode, which basically transfers the positive-negative alternating AC power from
Oh, sure, okay.
this into DC power, direct current, like a battery, which can then be used to charge this capacitor here more effectively. I chose a capacitor over a battery because capacitors charge faster and can hold charge for longer, along with it not ruining the battery every time you recharge it. This then leads through to just your standard four-wire USB port, that's it, which you can then plug in virtually any standard USB plug, and it should be able to supply power to that. So,
That's fabulous.
He's taking donations for his patent.
You bet. Absolutely.
I'll take a look at that.
Mr. Edlin?
I just wanted to thank all of you. You guys were just terrific. You know, for you to at least set your sights on something and pursue it with the passion that you did, and focusing on not just a job, but a career was incredible. You guys did such a great job. Earlier this year, as you know, the board had to make a big decision. And that big decision was if we were going to rename your school Les Paul Middle School. And what I saw tonight was the same passion. This is what I learned when I had to research this decision to change Les Paul, because it was probably, out of all the issues since I've been on this board, it was the most controversial issue that I've come across yet, believe it or not. And what I found was that, you know, I think everybody knows when Les Paul was a student, he had the same drive and passion that all of you do. And Jake, you were, as you were talking, I'm going, wow, you know, Les Paul, you know, that's how he got to start, was in electronics. You know, he just pursued everybody he could. And you know what I learned was that Les Paul, throughout his life, thanked the teachers that taught him. They answered his questions. And that was one of the reasons that I voted yes to rename the school. It wasn't just to put Les Paul's name on the school. It was to show recognition that Les Paul recognized how important his teachers were. So each of you, before school lets out, real quick, make sure you say thank you to your teachers. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Good comment.
Anybody else?
Good.
Well, since
Dr.
they
Landry.
go to Les Paul, I'm sure you know, yesterday was his 100th, would have been his 100th birthday, and big celebration last night of his 100th birthday, so very cool.
I just wanted to let Jake know I'll be the first person in line to purchase a pair of those from you. I love the outdoors. I really like to backpack. And one of the cool things about your invention is I can hike a long ways, and at night I can be ready with my flashlight. At the end of the day, I can recharge that. And flashlights are really important part of backpacking, right? I can leave the cell phone behind, and that's part of why I try to get away. But yeah, really a great idea. But each of the ideas that you have really touch the lives of many people, you know, pets, and getting the truth out there, reporting the truth. How important is that? Wow, what a high impact. And understanding people and their fears. Excellent. And I already talked to you, Jake. So fantastic job, you guys. Keep up the good work, and we wish you luck in the future.
Bye.